I'll see his heart, and his heart, the beauty of his heart will radiate, through the natural. That's what I'll see versus just the physical. I don't want to just, been there, done that. And that's, it's not really working out.
I get it. I get it. Sometimes it's hard, but I get it.
Listen, if God puts it all in one package, praise him. Listen,
let's just, I'm going to pray for myself on the one package, but I'm trying to keep an open mind myself.
Yes.
What about, we saw Garcelle on the show. She went to a matchmaker. Like, what do you think?
I would do that. I would so do that. And I can't remember their names, but I watched Love Match Atlanta.
I've had them all on this show. We have the duo. Yes, they're great.
Duo, I love the duo.
They're good.
I love the duo. And I took a picture. I can't remember their names.
Kelly and Tana.
Love them. And I was like, yes, they could help me find love. Yes, I absolutely would be open. I just don't want to pay for it though.
Well, after this comes out,
there's something in me that just don't feel right about that. I mean, I could pay, $19.99 a month or whatever it is, $8.99, whatever, to do my thing. But I don't know, just paying for a man, that's a construct for me.
And the duo ain't cheap, honey.
Well then, honey, listen.
But you know what? Maybe after this comes out, we're putting it out in the world. Maybe the duo will contact you.
Maybe they will. And maybe they will just feel, we're going to pray that God puts it on their heart to bless. Because they say it's better to give than to receive. I'm saying they can give their services. And in it, they'd receive, they think about it. If they hooked me up with somebody and he had means, of course we would, we'd take care of them.
Listen, let me work on this between now and the time the show comes out. I'm going to make a few calls on your behalf.
Yay, David. Yay.
What about Garcelle? I mean, we saw her go to a matchmaker too. Like, what do you think? Are you a good wing woman? Do you try to fix her up? Like, what do you think she needs in a man?
I told her this she's having to operate in a space where she is the mother and the father, and not to take anything away from Mike, because I'm sure he's a good dad to the boys. But when you are a single mom, meaning you are in the house by yourself raising your children, you have to operate in a masculine energy. You have to, because you're trying to give them a dynamic that is not existent there. You're not just being the nurturer, you're being the disciplinarian. So it's a lot. So I told Garcelle, I think she carries a lot of strong energy that would probably be intimidating to a lot of men. And not only intimidating, because maybe the right man wouldn't be intimidated, but he might not want to deal with that. He doesn't want to deal with having to soften her up and because I had somebody say that to me one time, and basically pointed that out. You're not allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And that's going to be hard for a man. And it was a dry season. So I don't know. I think Garcelle is focused on her career right now. I do. And I think she'll have love. I think she will. I think love will find her. And because she's an amazing, amazing woman. But I think it might be a little challenging right now.
Well, her career is going great.
Exactly.
Do you ever worry, let's just say that you come back as a friend of, or, and other, do you ever worry, you look at like Kyle and Lisa Vanderpump, we've had people you say you're a Housewives fanatic, like Bethany and Jill, like real friends before they were on a reality show together, that now, do you ever worry about that with you and Garcelle?
It's a fleeting thought. I don't want to put a lot of energy into it. I've definitely thought of that. For sure, but I don't put a lot of energy into it. I try to live in the moment, and for us to always, be in communication, because in this space, I could do something that's offensive to her. She could do something that's offensive to me. Let's talk about it. You know what I mean? Let's deal with it. Let's deal with it in real time. So that's my strategy.
That makes a lot of sense. And again, I don't know, maybe I'm just putting too much into this, but I think because you've been around and I know it's not your life, but you've been in the Hollywood scene before, again, I've seen people get in front of the camera for the first time, and it's like a kid in a candy store, and it's like, wait, you're not the same person I spoke to 3 days ago. Like,
Like,
what's
who are
going on?
you? And that happens because I think just naturally, that's something that's kind of in us. We all want to be significant. We want to feel like we matter. We want people to like us. We do. And when that camera comes on, there's something in you that performs and wants to, and in that performance, you could say something, you go too far. You can go too far, but let's, and I don't think any of us are beyond that. And if that happens, I think we have to try to make it right.
I think so
Quickly
too.
as possible. Yeah.
What about we have another friend of Miss Kathy Hilton who's coming eventually. What about all this? Kyle has even said like, or I don't really, the reunion, I'm not looking forward to it. This whole drama that's out there about, what Kathy said and these slurs that she used. And I mean, were you there when all this happened? And
I was not. So I don't know. I didn't hear anything. I was in my bed in Aspen sleeping soundly. Garcelle and I had the foresight to take our butts back to the house. So I don't know. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how that's gonna play out. And I don't know.
Well, you know what? This is one of the times like you probably had the foresight. You probably woke up and said, once you heard it all, thank God I wasn't there.
Wow. Yeah. Absolutely.
What about, you are so successful. You mentioned your son with like co-parenting. I mean, listen, I have divorced parents. Now that they're older, it's a whole different thing, but they're very mellow now, but we weren't always there. So especially in Hollywood, like Garcelle's even said, like, you are like the poster child for co-parenting with Will. And I know you've been how do you become Jada's first guest on her podcast? You're friends with like Willow and how does that happen? It's so hard.
I think, it's not, I'm not going to say that it's easy. I think early on, like from the beginning, my heart, and I learned this from my mother. My heart is always for my child. My child comes first. He really does. He comes first. So it's not about me anymore. We're not together. It's not about me. It's about him. Then Jaden comes along. Then Will, it's about these babies. So how do we do this where we honor them and we put them first and we don't deprive them of any good thing, good thing being the relationship they have with each other, the relationship they have with me, the relationship my son has with Jada. I think we were just able to go there. And I'm grateful for it. I can't really give details as to why, but I'm grateful that we were kind of all on the same frequency and the same page to really want to do that. Yeah. Which is probably why, we are called to one another in this